Have you ever wondered what it tastes like to be a Lagos glamour girl? A life filled with sparkle, fashion, and attention. Well, that's exactly what Tolu and her friends dreamed of every day. They lived in Lagos, Nigeria's biggest city, where everyone seemed to be chasing after something: money, fame, and the glamorous life. Tolu had always dreamed of living the good life, and so did her two best friends, Amara and Zainab. They were all about fashion, Instagram photos, and turning heads wherever they went. Tolu was the leader of the group. She was tall, with smooth brown skin and long braids that swayed as she walked. Amara was shorter, but had the most beautiful smile. And Zainab, with her bright eyes and perfect style, was always the one who kept the mood light. One sunny afternoon, they decided to go to Lekki for some shopping. Lekki was where the rich people lived, and it was always full of the most fashionable people. They had their eyes set on buying the latest clothes from their favorite designer store. As they walked into the store, the air was filled with smell of new clothes, perfumes, and fancy shoes. The store was full of shiny things: clothes, bags, shoes, jewelry, everything you can imagine. The salespeople greeted them with a big smile, and the three girls felt like stars. "This place is a dream," Zainab said, twirling around in a red dress that sparkled under the store lights. "I know, right?" Amara agreed. "This is the life we deserve." They began trying on clothes, and soon they were posing in front of the full-length mirror, taking pictures for their Instagram pages. They wanted to show the world how glamorous they were. But in the middle of all the fun, Tolu noticed something. A tall man in a sharp suit was looking at them from across the store. His eyes were on Tolu. "Who's that?" Amara whispered to Tolu, noticing the man's gaze. "I don't know," Tolu replied, trying to act cool, but her heart was beating faster. She didn't know why, but there was something about him that caught her attention. The man, noticing they were talking about him, walked over with a confident smile. "Hello, ladies. I couldn't help but notice you. I am Mr. Durojaiye," he said, extending his hand. Tolu shook his hand, smiling, but inside she was curious. What was this man up to? "We were just having fun," Tolu said. "You know, living the Lagos life." "Well, you certainly look like you belong here," Mr. Durojaiye said with a wink. "Would you like to join me for dinner sometime? I know some great spots around the city. I can show you a side of Lagos you've never seen before." Tolu's friends looked at her, eyes wide with excitement. This could be the chance they've been waiting for. But Tolu, even though she loved the idea, wasn't sure. Who was this man really? "Sure, Mr. Durojaiye," Tolu finally said, smiling. "We would love that." That night, they met Mr. Durojaiye at the fancy restaurant in Victoria Island. The lights were dim and the tables were set with sparkling silverware. The waiter showed them a VIP table with a view of the ocean. Tolu and her friends felt like they had stepped into a dream. As the night went on, Mr. Durojaiye talked about his business, his connections, and how he had made his fortune in Lagos. He seemed to know everyone, from the famous actors to the wealthiest businessmen. Tolu couldn't help but be amazed by how smooth and charming he was. But as the night went on, Amara started to feel uncomfortable. She noticed how Mr. Durojaiye was only paying attention to Tolu, and the way he was looking at her didn't seem friendly. He kept complimenting her, making her blush, but something in his eyes made Amara uneasy. "Let's go, Tolu," Amara whispered. "Something feels off." Tolu didn't want to ruin the night. She enjoyed the attention and the luxury, but she couldn't ignore the nagging feeling inside her. She looked at Zainab, who gave her a look that said, "Let's go." Tolu smiled politely at Mr. Durojaiye. "Thank you for the dinner. We really enjoyed it, but I think we should get going now." Mr. Durojaiye's smile didn't fade. "Of course, ladies, but remember, you are always welcome in my world." As they walked out of the restaurant, Tolu felt a strange mix of excitement and worry. What had she just stepped into? The next morning, Tolu couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Durojaiye. Was he just being nice, or was he trying to take advantage of them? Amara and Zainab had their doubts too, but they couldn't deny that they wanted to be part of his world. It seemed like the key to everything they've ever dreamt of. But little did they know that the world they were stepping into wasn't as glamorous as it seemed. The deeper they got, the more secrets they uncovered about Mr. Durojaiye. Secrets that could change their lives forever. The days after the dinner felt like a whirlwind for Tolu and her friends. They couldn't stop talking about Mr. Durojaiye and the glamorous life he promised them. Tolu had never been so excited about the future, but a small voice inside her kept warning her to be careful. The following week, Mr. Durojaiye called Tolu again. This time, he invited her to a private party at the mansion in Lekki, where all the important people in Lagos were going to be. "It will be fun, Tolu," he said on the phone. "Come see the real Lagos and the one behind the scenes." Tolu wasn't sure what to expect, but Amara and Zainab were already jumping up and down, excited about the idea. "This is it," Zainab said, almost shaking with excitement. "This is the life we've been waiting for." Reluctantly, Tolu agreed to go. She wanted to experience everything, but at the back of her mind, she knew there was something not quite right about Mr. Durojaiye. When the night of the party arrived, they dressed in their best clothes, tight dresses, high heels, and big smiles. Tolu chose a black dress that sparkled under the lights, while Amara and Zainab wore similar outfits, ready to make an impression. They arrived at the mansion, and it looked like something out of a movie. The gates were gold, and the driveway stretched for miles. A line of luxury cars parked outside told them everything they needed to know. This was a world far from the one they knew. As they stepped out of the car, a butler led them into the mansion. Inside, it was even more extravagant. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and the air was filled with sound of laughter, music, and the clinking of glasses. It was a mix of rich business people, celebrities, and the elite of Lagos. Mr. Durojaiye appeared soon after, wearing a sharp suit and a confident smile. He greeted the girls like they were the stars of the party, introducing them to everyone he knew. Everyone seemed to be drawn to Tolu, and she loved the attention. She felt like she was finally where she belonged. "Drink?" Mr. Durojaiye asked, offering her a glass of wine. "It's the finest in Lagos." Tolu hesitated for a moment. She wasn't a big drinker, but the atmosphere was so glamorous. She didn't want to seem out of place. She took the glass, and they all clinked glasses. For a while, everything seemed perfect. They danced, laughed, and posed for photos with the rich and famous. But as the night went on, Tolu started to notice something strange. The people at the party weren't just rich. They were powerful, and some of them had eyes that seemed a little too calculating. She saw a group of men whispering in the corner, their eyes darting towards her. It wasn't just her. Everyone seemed to be looking at her. Tolu felt her stomach tighten, but she tried to shake it off. "It's just nerves," she thought. "This is the life I've always wanted." Then, at the height of the party, Mr. Durojaiye took her aside, leading her into a private area of the mansion. It was quiet there, and there were no eyes watching them. He smiled at her, but this time, his smile felt different, like he knew something she didn't. "I see a potential in you, Tolu," he said, his voice low. "You could be the queen of Lagos if you wanted, but everything comes at a cost." Tolu's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice suddenly trembling. Mr. Durojaiye leaned in closer. "You want the life you've dreamed of, don't you? The fame, the money, the power, it's all here, but you have to give something in return. The price isn't always easy to pay." Tolu's mind raced. What was he talking about? Was he asking her to do something illegal or worse? Before she could ask more questions, Mr. Durojaiye pulled away, flashing that charming smile again. "Don't worry, you will understand soon enough. You are already a part of this world now, Tolu. There's no going back." She wanted to run, but her friends were still enjoying themselves, laughing and living it up. She didn't want to ruin their fun, but something told her that this world wasn't what it seemed. As the night came to an end, Mr. Durojaiye offered them all a ride home in one of his luxurious cars. He told them they could come back to the mansion whenever they wanted, whenever they were ready for the next level. When Tolu got home, she couldn't sleep. She tossed and turned, thinking about what Mr. Durojaiye had said. Was the price of all this luxury and attention worth it? Was there more to his world than just parties and Instagram photos? Tolu knew one thing for sure. She wasn't the same girl who had walked into that store a week ago. But the question was she ready to pay the price for the glamorous life she has always dreamed of? The next day, Amara and Zainab couldn't stop talking about the party. They were eager for the next step, but Tolu couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. Little did they know, their journey into the world of Lagos glamour was about to take an unexpected turn, and not all that glitters was gold. The next few days felt like a blur to Tolu. She couldn't stop thinking about Mr. Durojaiye's words, and every time she saw her friends, their excitement only made her feel more conflicted. Amara and Zainab were already planning their next move, eager to get deeper into the world Mr. Durojaiye had promised them. They would talk about nothing but the parties, the VIP treatments, and the expensive things they could buy. Tolu, on the other hand, kept having flashes of doubt. Was all of this really worth it? What was the price of living this life? She hadn't told anyone about the uneasy feeling she had had after the conversation with Mr. Durojaiye, but deep down, she knew she had to be careful. On one particular afternoon, as Tolu sat in a cafe with Zainab, her phone buzzed with a message. It was from Mr. Durojaiye. "I've arranged a special meeting for us tomorrow. You should come alone. It's time to talk about the next step in your journey." Tolu stared at the message for a while. The words felt like a warning, but she couldn't just ignore the pull. She had already come so far. She responded quickly, pretending to sound confident, even though her heart was pounding. "I'll be there." The next evening, Tolu arrived at the location Mr. Durojaiye had sent her, a luxury hotel on Victoria Island. The lobby was grand, with gold-framed mirrors and high ceiling. A private elevator took her to the top floor, where the door to a lavish suite opened as soon as she knocked. Mr. Durojaiye was standing there, looking as sharp as ever. His smile was welcoming, but Tolu noticed the way his eyes lingered on her for a little too long. "Welcome, Tolu. You look stunning," he said, stepping aside for her to enter. "Thank you," she said, forcing a smile. "What's all this about?" "Relax. This is a place for us to talk business," he replied, motioning to the luxurious suite with a large table set for two. There were glasses of wine, fine dishes, and soft lighting, making the room feel even more glamorous than the mansion. Tolu sat down, trying to ignore the nervousness crawling up her spine. She was about to find out what Mr. Durojaiye had in mind. "We've got big plans for you, Tolu," he began. "You've got the look, the attitude, and the charm. All the right people are watching you. You can have everything you've ever dreamed of. Money, fame, anything. But like I said, there is a price." "What price?" Tolu asked, her voice shaking now. Mr. Durojaiye leaned forward, his gaze intense. "I need someone who can help me expand my business. Someone who can be a face of sorts. Someone who knows how to play the game and gets people's attention. You, Tolu, could be that person. I'll make sure you have everything you want. In return, you will help me with a few arrangements." Tolu felt her heart skip a beat. "Arrangements? What do you mean?" Mr. Durojaiye smiled again, but it wasn't the warm smile she had grown used to. It was colder, more calculating. "You see, Tolu, there are people in this city who control things. They decide who gets to be successful, who gets to be seen, and who gets left behind. I have the connections, but sometimes I need help with influencing people, making sure they do what's in my best interest." Tolu's blood ran cold. She didn't need him to spell it out for her. She was being asked to become a pawn in a dangerous game. A game that had nothing to do with the glamour or luxury, but everything to do with power and control. "I am not sure I want to be part of that," she said, standing up. "This doesn't feel right at all." Mr. Durojaiye's expression darkened, and for a moment, Tolu saw a glimpse of something that chilled her. Anger. "You think you can just walk away from this? Tolu, this is the life you've wanted. Do you really want to go back to being just another girl in Lagos, chasing after things that will never be enough? Or do you want to be on the top? The choice is yours." She could feel the weight of his words pressing on her, but something inside her refused to back down. "No," she said firmly. "I don't want this. I don't want your world." Mr. Durojaiye stood up, walked towards the door. "You will regret this, Tolu. But that's okay. We all do eventually." Tolu left the hotel room with her mind swirling. She couldn't shake the feeling that she had just escaped a dangerous path. But at the same time, she knew she had made the right choice.